Hey everyone, just wanted to give you a quick heads up. The second Global Product Owner Summit is coming soon. You can get all the details at bit.ly/Product Owner 2024. That's bit.ly/Product Owner 2024. And it's all lowercase, all one word. Oh, and stick with us until the end of the episode to know the dates and the tracks that we have for you in this year's summit. But for now, let's dive into today's episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome to one more week of the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. This week, joining us from the US is Stephanie Cully. Hey, Stephanie, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks so much for having me on. I'm really excited to be here.
Absolutely. So Stephanie is a Scrum Master and CEO of Scrum Life Consulting. Stephanie founded Scrum Life with a mission to help Scrum Masters overcome self-doubt and land the role. So Stephanie, that was a short intro. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and how did you end up becoming a Scrum Master?
Sure. Thanks for the question. So the way that I found myself in the Scrum role was I rotated around a lot in tech. So I went to a business school and decided to get a degree in IT. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I started off as an intern, just did some tech support. And fortunately, I joined a company that had a rotational program where I was able to do anything from software testing to traditional project management. There's a ton of different roles. And as I kept pivoting into these different roles, I found that a lot of the teams I was working with were struggling to deliver what the customer actually wanted. So I can't even tell you how many times I saw my teams spend millions of dollars on a project just for the customer to be like, this isn't what we wanted, or this isn't working the way that we expected. And early on in that experience, I was introduced to someone who was a Scrum Master. And I thought, this is really cool. I wasn't introduced to this in college. Let me learn a little bit more about it. So this was back in 2009. I don't think there was a whole lot of information, at least that I knew of, out on the internet about it. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do small projects here and there. And the cool thing was in this program, they told us at the 3-year mark before you graduate, you have an option to take a set of money and go to a conference or go get a certificate. And for me at that time, I was a business analyst. That was really where I saw myself. I was totally happy, but I was like, let me go learn a little bit more about this Scrum thing just so I can speak a little bit more intelligently on it, and who knows what will happen in the future. So I did my CSM. I really loved it. And I was just like, okay, this is great. I have some really good knowledge. Let me just go about my day. Well, my manager at the time, I was there for a couple of months, and this project was failing miserably. They, once again, spent millions of dollars, had a vendor in there, and they had to start from scratch. They ended up bringing in like Microsoft to help us with it. And my manager said to me, hey, I saw that you have this certificate. I know that you've been helping us with testing. You've been doing business analysis. Would you be interested in leading as a Scrum Master? And I was a little bit nervous about it, but I was like, yeah, this could be a great experience. And from there, I just fell in love with it. And I actually did try to avoid it a little bit. I rotated around. I was like, no, I'm a business analyst. I really like this Microsoft tool that we're using. And people just kept pushing me. They're like, why are you not a Scrum Master? Why are you not doing project management? And then eventually I was like, okay, this is the way that I need to go. This is really what I love doing. And eventually just transitioned full-time into the role.
Absolutely. I can relate to that. Many of us come to the Scrum Master role from other roles in the companies or industries where we worked. And it for many of us also, it feels like a calling, right? Like something that, this is, it feels natural to be in this role. But even when it does feel natural to be in the role, it isn't always easy. And because today is Monday, Fail Monday here on the podcast, Stephanie, we want to investigate with you one of those stories that you went through where you did your best, as we always do, but the best just wasn't good enough, as sometimes is the case, and we learn a lot from it. But before we get into the lessons learned, do share with us that story of a difficult moment you had as a Scrum Master.
Sure. So one of the most difficult situations I was in was I was starting off at a company that was highly focused on tech. It was a very technical project. And it was clear from the day that I got there that the product owner did not want me there. I later learned that I guess the company that the vendor they were using before was too expensive and they got rid of the majority of the people from that team. And it was really just the developers and a product owner leading as the quote unquote Scrum Master and product owner. But it was more of a just, I want this, give this to me now. Oh, I changed my mind. I want this. Let's do this now. And so for me, it was that fear of, okay, now I'm an official Scrum Master. I'm working in a more technical environment. And the main person that I feel I should be partnered with and in line with, he does not want me there at all.
So how did you react? I mean, it cannot have been, it must not have been easy for you to realize that, okay, this person that I'm supposed to collaborate with is not so happy to have me here. So how did that go?
Yeah. So the biggest thing that I decided to do was get a better understanding of where they were and what his priorities were. So I sat down, had a conversation with him, and it turns out that it was really the fear of losing control, the fear of change. And he was reporting directly into a lot of executives. This was a project that was used across the entire US. And the company would actually be fined if things were not working well with this tool since it generated reports and there were just penalties with, this government regulation. And so for me, I knew, okay, it's not just about I have some kind of a power trip. It was more about a genuine interest in making sure that the company could function well, that the field engineers had what they needed to do, and that they could actually service their customers. So once I understood that, I was like, okay, well, how can I work better with him? How can I build that trust and let him know that I'm on his side? And also understand from the developers what is their perspective? What are the challenges that they're having? And what are some things I can do to help them or help them to build a better connection with the product owner to deliver what we needed to?
And how did that go? Like, were you able to then establish that relationship of collaboration and trust with the team and the PO?
Initially, no. So luckily, I had a manager. It was a development manager who had my back. I also had a business analyst who was working with this person previously. And so I was able to get more of a perspective from them of how have things been going before I started working here? What are some tips in working with him? And just feeling that genuine support from other people and knowing, okay, it's not just me, it's more how things are done in general. And making small changes was what truly helped. So I thought I had established trust. I thought things were heading in the right direction. And I just made it clear to the product owner, hey, like I totally understand if something comes up, there's a new report that's needed, or some things need to be changed in order to help our customers or to help the field engineers do their job. But let's make sure we have a conversation because I'll come to a daily scrum and all of a sudden, let's say Joe, one of our developers, is working on something and the next day, he just dropped everything because the product owner said, hey, work on this. And we don't really understand why. So had to have that conversation several times. And it's not so much, hey, let me tell you what to do. It's more, let me ask you about what's going on. How can we be more collaborative? And teaching the developers, like, I'm not there necessarily to protect them. I'm there to help them grow and understand how do I have these conversations with the product owner to make sure that everyone's looped in and also make sure that we're bringing staff, our Scrum Master in to help with this.
Very often it happens that things don't start on the best foot possible, and there's a bit of hesitation, anxiety, and mistrust, and that's quite normal because we are people, right? And sometimes we expect things to be different, and then we get surprised, and we don't necessarily like the new people that come in with the surprise, as you said. But one of the things that I really find important in the stance that you took is this concept of trying to understand what are they trying to achieve, and also to be clear about what you need to know, right? Like, tell me when something happens, whatever that specific happens, so that I can help you. And I think that's a good way to try to help the product owner understand that we are trying to help them, the PO and the team, succeed. And we're not trying to, as Scrum Masters especially, we're definitely not trying to control any decisions, but we do have a duty to our stakeholders to make sure that the team is working to the best of their ability. And sometimes, and it's not the first time, it won't be the last time, product owners do change priorities in the middle of a sprint without ever asking the stakeholders, or because of one but not others stakeholders, and therefore causing conflict. So I think it's very important for us to also be able to set that boundary, right? Like say, hey, you can make the decisions, but just keep me in the loop, because if I don't know what you're trying to do, then I can't help you. And also, I can't know whether what you are trying to do even makes sense at all, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. And this story of conflict, like for you personally, how did you experience it? Like, did it affect you as a person as well?
I think I was just a little bit naive, which maybe worked to my advantage. I just come in with such a positive mindset. And I'm like, okay, I'm here to learn. I'm here to help other people. So I was a little bit concerned in the very beginning, like, oh man, I just started this new job and already the person I'm supposed to be teamed up with doesn't like me. Um, we take one step forward, two steps back. But I'm just really persistent, and over time, we ended up building a really great relationship to the point where he had even at one point asked me to come work for him. So it just goes to show that even if things don't start off on the right foot, if you continue to have those conversations, even difficult conversations, and have a better understanding of what goals they're trying to reach, that you can not only deliver a great product, something that's going to help the customer, and, that's going to bring the team together. So I learned a lot from that situation.
Absolutely. Stories like this do often teach us a lot. Thank you for sharing that, Stephanie.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Hi there, Agile friends. Thank you for sticking around and listening to the details of the Product Owner Summit, this year's global summit dedicated to a critical Scrum role, the product owner role, of course. We'll have some amazing keynotes and 4 tracks filled with first-hand stories and experiences for product owners to learn more about that critical Scrum role. The summit will take place between April 23rd and 25th, so book your calendars. There will be loads of sessions for you to attend. One of the keynotes will be Dave West, the product owner and CEO at Scrum.org, one of the largest Scrum organizations in the world. If you want to know more, check out the details at bit.ly/product owner 2024. That's all one word, all lowercase, bit.ly/product owner 2024. We will also have 4 tracks. The 4 tracks will cover cross-functional product ownership. That's track 1. As Pixar's Ratatouille said, not every idea can be a great idea, but a great idea can come from anywhere. And this quote emphasizes the importance of a product owner being open to all ideas, regardless of the source, and also challenges us to focus on getting good ideas from everywhere and involving the whole team in the product owner role and responsibilities. The second track is Designing Products for Growth, where we explore how to craft products ready for scalable growth, merging practical strategies with innovation. The idea here is to learn to design products for growth, whether it is sales or customer acquisition. The third track is Know Your Users, user-centric approaches for agile development. In this track, we learn to master user-centric techniques in agile development, to deeply understand customer needs and transform insights into meaningful UX designs that focus on engagement and satisfaction. This is a track ideal for innovation-focused agile teams. And the fourth track, one of the most exciting tracks in my opinion, is product development with AI, ideas for product owners. Not only do we discuss about using AI in the products, but also AI for product owners to learn to make a bigger impact with the help of the AI tools that we already have. The Product Owner Summit will also present to you great opportunities to network with your peers. So get your ticket and join our Slack. You can get the ticket and join the Slack at bit.ly/Product Owner 2024. As always, we have free tickets and also the paid tickets that help to support this podcast. So check them out at bit.ly/Product Owner 2024. That's all lowercase, all one word, Product Owner 2024. I'll see you in the summit floor.